Namaste, everyone. I'd like to take you through a practice. This is a beautiful, invigorating, and enlivening way to start your day. And it works all the movements of the spine, opens the heart, opens the hips, just really energizes the whole body with movement and breath that you can take with you powerfully into your day. So let's begin by coming into a steady and comfortable yogic seat, any cross-legged position that feels easeful for you. So easy pose or half lotus. Some of you may feel that full lotus is available to you, but it's certainly not necessary. You want to have your hips a little higher than your knees, so perhaps a folded blanket or meditation cushion to help you find that lengthening in the low back as you bring the hip pointers forward. And you want to have your sit bones on the front edge of your blanket or cushion so that you can allow that pelvis to tilt slightly forward. Maybe taking the flesh of the buttocks and removing it from your sitting bones so that you can feel the sit bones rooting down into the cushion, into the mat, and right underneath into the earth. Let your rib cage lift a little higher away from your pelvic bowl. Let the shoulders roll back and down to spread the heart. And let the crown of the head lift straight up to the sky without lifting your chin. You want to keep the back of the neck nice and long. So you've got an unbroken line of energy that moves from the earth below, drawing up that nourishment and support from Mother Earth, rooting you and grounding you. And the crown of the head lifting to the sky, connecting to that vast expansiveness of the heavens. And letting your own heart center be that bridge, that meeting place between heaven and earth. You can bring your hands to the chest, palm over palm. And take a moment with eyes closed to set an intention for your practice today. Some quality that you'd like to invite in, whether it's presence or joy or letting go of something. Bring that quality into your mind and heart. And let's seal that practice with the sound of Om as a way to send it out in all directions. Taking a deep breath in, fill all the way up into the chest, and exhale with the sound of Om. And let one hand come to the low belly just below the navel, one hand to the center of the chest, staying there at your heart center. And we'll invite in those deep three-part yogic breaths that begin in the low belly as you draw the breath down into the bottom of the lungs. Let that low belly expand like a balloon. And then invite the breath to lift up through the rib cage, expanding the ribs on all sides. And then finally up into the chest, breathing in through the nose. Surround your heart with breath. Draw the breath all the way up to the collarbones. Exhale, empty the chest. Empty the rib cage. Empty the belly. And at the end of your exhale, draw your navel in toward your spine. So in and out through the nose, I just invite you to follow that wave of breath that moves from the belly through the rib cage up into the chest. Nice and slow. Pause at the top so you really can savor that feeling of fullness. Exhale, emptying chest, ribs, belly. And as you give that little pull of the navel in toward the spine to completely empty out, pause for a moment to just experience emptiness. Just experiencing those two polarities of emptiness and fullness. In and out through the nose, slow and deep. You can create a little narrowing of the back of the throat, a little contraction, so the breath makes a whisper sound in the back of the throat. And when you do that, it might feel like there's a feather brushing the back of your throat with each inhale and exhale. It almost makes the sound of the ocean waves. We call this ujjayi breath. It's very calming and balancing for the nervous system. And as you invite a few more deep breaths in and out through the nose with that gentle ujjayi sound, perhaps visualizing your own body as an empty vessel into which life energy or prana is being poured. So as you take that deep inhale, that prana fills all the way up to the brim. Pause to savor that fullness, and exhale, pour it back out again from top to bottom. Just like we empty a pitcher from top to bottom. As you pour it out, filling up with life energy and aliveness. Exhale, pouring out whatever isn't needed here. Any busyness in the mind, tension in the body, or heaviness or constriction in the heart. Filling up with fresh, pure life energy, offering out whatever doesn't serve you in this moment. Releasing it, offering it out to spirit, higher power, God, Goddess, whatever it is that is bigger than your own fear, tension, or worry. And then bringing both hands to interlace right in front of the heart center, thumbs up. Just press the palms in that center of your chest and take a deep breath in. Once again, lengthen up through your spine. And exhale, turn the palms away, thumbs down. Press away from you, roll back to the back end of your sit bones, chin to chest. Spread the shoulder blades far apart from one another as you press the palms away. Inhale, lift up, roll forward on your sit bones. Let the pinky side of the hands reach back behind you. Try to draw the shoulders down as you do this and bring the lower ribs forward, arching back and looking up. Exhale, press away. Chin comes to chest, navel pulls in. Inhale, lift up and arch back. Lift the gaze. Exhale, press away one more time, rolling to the back end of your sit bones. Squeeze out all the breath. Inhale, roll forward on your sit bones, arch back. And then exhale, release the hands and let them interlace back behind you in yoga mudra. Hands clasped like this. Arms are straight if you can. Draw the shoulder blades toward the center of the back and let the heart spread wide open. Perhaps visualizing a flower there that's blossoming open. Draw the interlaced hands to the back of your mat. Lift them a little bit higher. Big breath in. Exhale, release, and let the shoulders roll one way. If there's any emotional weight you can feel that you're bearing on your shoulders, let every exhale and every letting go of the shoulders be a releasing of that. Let it go. And then rolling the shoulders forward. Other direction, exploring the full range of motion in your shoulders. We carry so much tension in this area here. And then arms reach out, fingers reaching to the horizons, and just take a moment to feel the heart spreading wide. And then turn the palms up and let the arms spiral open, letting that rolling open come all the way up to the shoulders. Feel how that widens the heart even more. And let the hands lift to the sky, palms meet overhead. Exhale, circle palms down, and let the fingertips brush the earth. Syncing up breath and movement and attention. Lifting up, seated sun breaths, palms join overhead. Exhale, sweep the arms wide and down. One more time, lift. Keep the spine nice and long, root to crown. Palms join at the top of the breath. Exhale, sweep wide and down. This time, let the arms reach and rise. Reach through the right fingers, reach through the left fingers. And then we're going to come into eagle arms with the right arm underneath. I'll mirror you here. So you're going to nestle the left elbow inside of the right. And if you can, wrap your wrists. Otherwise, just bring the backs of the hands to one another. And thumbs point towards you, fingertips to the sky. Let the elbows lift to shoulder height or higher. And breathe into any place where you feel strong sensation. In the upper back, shoulders, upper arms. Deep breath in, lift the fingers a little higher, and then release, unwind your arms, and let the right fingers reach to the sky. Left palm roots down. Take a nice side stretch, inviting length on the right side of the body, and then come into a side bend. See if you can keep that right arm straight rather than bending it, so you have a long, unbroken line of energy from your right sitting bone to your right fingertips. And you can deepen this by walking your left hand a little further out to the side. And expand and open through the rib cage on the right side. And then exhale into a twist to your right. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Lift and lengthen through the spine. Crown of the head lifts to the sky. Turn your heart to the right and look over your right shoulder. Inhale, arms reach and rise. Reach through the right, reach through the left. You're facing center now. And we'll take eagle arms with the left arm underneath. Either backs of the hands to one another or wrap the wrists if you can, bringing your right fingers to the left palm. Reach the fingers skyward rather than clasping the hands. And bring the elbows to shoulder height or even a little higher. Send your breath to the place where you notice the sensation is strong. Breathe into it, massage it with your breath. Long, slow, deep Ujjayi breaths with a whisper sound in the back of the throat, in and out through the nose. And on the next exhale, unfurl the arms, reach the left fingers to the sky, right palm roots down, lift up, lengthen to the left side body, and take it into your side bend here. Keep both sit bones rooting down if you want to walk your right hand out to the right to deepen the side bend here. Smile, open the ribs. Send your breath there. Reach long and away through those left fingertips. Big breath in and exhale, release into a twist to the left. Softening the shoulders down away from the ears, lifting through the crown, leading with the heart. Look over your left shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, a little deeper into that twist if you can. And then arms reach and rise. Reach through the right, reach through the left. Palms come together, return to the heart. And as you do that, each time we bring the palms together is an opportunity to return to the awareness of your intention that you set. How can I embody that intention right here and right now? How can I invite it in with my mind, my heart, my breath, my movement? And then releasing the cushion from underneath you, uncross your legs, shake them out. And give them a little pat down. the outsides of the legs and the insides of the legs, tops of the thighs, shins. Just inviting, if your legs fell asleep, inviting the blood to come back in. Sitting in Dandasana, staff pose with your hands underneath your shoulders. Point and flex your feet. I'll move back a little so you can see my feet. Point and flex. Saying good morning to your calf muscles. And then circle the feet outward. Letting the ankles find their full range of motion, and inward. And then swinging the legs around back behind you, come into your table pose. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. Fingers spread wide so you have a nice wide base of support through your palms. Taking a deep breath in, send the low belly toward the thighs, lift the tailbone, draw the heads of the shoulders back as you spread the heart, look up. Belly drops, deep inhale, exhale, press the floor away, chin to chest, navel draws in. Bring the nose toward the pubic bone, spread the shoulder blades wide as you press into the floor. And letting the breath move the body, a few more rounds of cat-cow. Spinal undulations, flexion and extension of the spine. Let the breath move the body, exploring your full range of motion here. With deep breathing, Ujjayi breath brushing the back of the throat. And then the spine comes to neutral. Curl the toes under and press down and forward into the hands so that you come into a bent leg downward dog here. We first want to focus on the length of the torso from the sacrum all the way through the back body, through the shoulders, through the arms. Upper arms are in line with the ears here. You're pressing down and forward into your hands. You're not bearing the weight in your heel of your hands, but more into the fingers and thumbs and roots of the fingers. Keep the low belly pressed toward the thighs, let the heart sink low. See if you can feel in your own body that diagonal line from your hips to your fingertips. And then one heel at a time presses down as you lift the sacrum a little bit higher, straightening one leg and then the other. And just take your time here. Don't pedal the feet too fast. Really give yourself a chance to savor the lengthening the back of each leg as you send one heel down, other knee bends slightly. Maybe lifting that hip on the extended leg a little bit higher to juice up that stretch. And other side, breathe into it. Send the breath anywhere where there's tightness. And then bring both heels to the earth. If you at any point feel tired in downward facing dog and need to bring the knees down and sink back to child, you can always do that, bringing the sit bones back to the heels. And if you're still in downward dog, you can come forward into the top of a push-up, high plank, shoulders over wrist, arm bones stacked, body in one long line, nice firm core. Abdominal muscles draw in toward the center, reach the crown forward and the heels back. Big breath in and lower down the knees, chest, and chin on the next exhale. Buttocks up in the air, toes curled under. Hands are underneath the shoulders. It's like you're looking under the couch here for the cat toy. Heart draws forward, shoulders pull back. Taking your cobra pose, start with a baby cobra here. Just the tops of the feet pressed down. All 10 toes anchored down. Heart draws forward, and if you can, lift your hands so you feel how the back muscles are engaging here. Interlace your fingers into snake pose, or keep the hands separate and just draw the fingers back behind you. Lift, 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 draw the heart forward. If your hands are clasped, you can draw the shoulder blades toward one another like they want to kiss along the back body. If you want to take it into a locust pose, you can fire up the legs, reach long through the toes toward the backs of your mat, and then peel off the feet, ankles, shins, knees, and thighs. Keep reaching the toes back, reaching the clasped hands back, heart forward, or if your fingers are separated, you can do this as well. Ujjayi breath. And slowly lowering the thighs, knees, feet down. Bring the hands under the shoulders and let the forehead come down. Take a moment to relax through the low back and just let the hips rock side to side. And then once again, taking cobra, you can either take that low cobra, the hands just under the shoulders for balance, not really pressing or pushing. Or you can press a little more into the hands, keeping elbows bent, take full cobra. Keep the pubic bone anchored into the mat. Keep the legs active, tops of the feet pressed down so you actually feel the kneecaps lift a little bit. Look up, drop the shoulders, spread the heart, big breath. Exhale, release. Toes curl under, press up through table. Take a nice cat stretch. So we do the opposite movement of the spine. And then drop the belly back into your cow tilt. And press down and forward into the hands. Downward facing dog. Grow long from the sitting bones down the backs of the legs through the heels, and sending the heels into the earth unless you need to take a bent knee variation, in which case you can keep your heels lifted a little bit. Long from the sacrum down the spine through which is really up the spine, but in this case down the spine. And through the shoulders, through the arms, down into the earth. Navel lifts in and up, creating a gentle Uddiyana Bandha, abdominal lift here. Let's take that vinyasa, connecting vinyasa one more time. Inhale, top of a push-up. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra, either low cobra, just chest, or full torso rolls off. Exhale, release, and press up through table, back to downward facing dog. Press the low belly to the thighs, so you fully engage that pelvic tilt. And spread the sit bones a little further apart from one another, perhaps imagining that you are a peacock, spreading your tail feathers, displaying your beautiful tail feathers. We're going to step through with the right foot here. So if you'd like to take a three-legged dog along the way, you can sweep your right toes up to the sky and step through with the right foot in between the hands. We're going to step the right foot through here. If you'd like to take it through a three-legged dog, you can sweep the right toes up to the sky, finding a long diagonal from your tippy toes to your fingertips. Grow long. And then exhale. Step through with your right foot, lowering left knee down. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Grow long from the tailbone to the crown. Root the pelvis down into the earth, and then as the inner thighs engage toward the center, sweep the hands forward and up, taking your kneeling warrior. Spin the pinkies inward, drop the shoulders, spread the heart. That same abdominal lift here, navel in and up, supports you in this pose. Exhale, hands back behind you. Interlace the fingers once again, let the heart blossom open, big breath. Exhale, release, hands frame that front foot, and curl the back toes under. Step back into your plank pose and flow through. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Some of you may want to take chaturanga, low push-up, that's fine. Inhale, cobra of your choice, or upward facing dog with arms straight and pelvis and legs lifted. Exhale, meet in downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And fully land in your down dog, finding that navel lift. Heart melts down to the place between the feet. Hands press down and away into the earth. We'll take it into a low lunge on the left side. Either step right through, or you can sweep your left toes to the sky. Keep your heart low. Keep the energizing press into the hands so that you keep your shoulders back away from your wrists. You don't want to let the shoulders come over the wrists here. Long line, and then step it through gracefully, lowering right knee down, left foot between the hands. Soften shoulders, lengthen spine, look up. Let the tailbone root down into the earth, and as inner thighs draw toward the center, sweep the hands forward and up. Perhaps here, as you are in your warrior pose, kneeling warrior, you can bring to mind that intention that you set at the beginning of your practice. How can you use that strong, powerful, focused, determined warrior in you to stay committed to that intention? Hands back behind you, interlacing the fingers, open the heart. Sometimes it takes great courage to do that, to show up in that powerful way, to be aligned with our intentions. So I see this as a pose of courage, because it takes great courage to live with a wide open heart. Deep breath in. Exhale, release. Frame that front foot. And step up into a half forward bend. Flat back. Bring the shoulders in line with the hips. Long spine. Back of the neck is long. Exhale, fold. Soften the knees as much as you need to here. Let the crown of the head release to the earth and find some movement of the head. Find your yes, your no. What are you letting go of? What are you saying no to? And maybe just to open to the mystery of it all. And then we'll let the hips drop halfway. Just coming into like you're sitting in a chair. Bring the hands into prayer position. You do not want to stick your hips way out and fold over your legs. You want to have your shoulders higher than your hips. Bring your weight into your heels a little bit more, but keep the feet flat on the mat. Soften the shoulders, draw the heart toward the thumbs. Ujjayi breath. Perhaps visualizing that intention that you set at the beginning of your practice. Can you make it come alive right here in this moment of challenge? And the arms reach and rise, palms come together overhead. Exhale, draw them down the center of the line of the body to the heart. We'll take it into a little balance play. So come into your mountain pose, feet hip width apart. Shoulders stacked over the hips and relaxed away from the ears. We'll take it into the tree pose, rooting down through your right leg, lift your left leg, and either come to toes on the floor for a little balance support, or inside calf, or inside thigh. Press firmly into the trunk of your tree. Really activate all the muscles in your standing leg so you have that firm trunk. So this is our first real hip opener of the day. It's a balance practice, but it's also a great hip opener. You want that knee to come straight out to the side, tailbone roots straight down, so that the low back lengthens, and bring your hands to prayer position in front of the heart. If you need to hold on to a wall for a little support, you can make the sound of one hand clapping and one fingertip against the wall. Otherwise, I invite you to play as you focus your gaze into a spot on the floor a few feet in front of you. Play with either opening your branches to the sky, or you can bring your hands into the mudra of hands clasped with pointer fingers up to the sky for a little bit more sense of power and fierceness in that pose. If you want to play a little bit, another level of challenge, you can bring your hands into reverse namaskar, the palms together behind the shoulder blades. And then releasing here, we're going to come right into eagle pose. So if you need to come and ground yourself in mountain first, you can. Otherwise, just take the lifted leg, in this case your left leg, wrap it around your right leg. You can either have your foot dangling, or if you can get deep into it, you might be able to wrap your ankle around the back of your calf. And here you have the left arm underneath, right arm comes in between, comes on top, and take your eagle pose. Sit way down into it, reach fingertips to the sky. Now we're getting that internal rotation of the hips here. You want to look basically beyond your wrists to that place on the floor where you're focusing your gaze. Ujjayi breath. And then unwind your wings, open into crane pose. Knee comes to hip height. Just let your foot dangle underneath your knee. Spread your wings, soft elbows, wrists, and shoulders here. And slowly release. Feet come to hip width apart, mountain pose. Notice the difference between one side and the other. And then when you're ready, we'll take tree pose on the other side, pressing firmly into the strong trunk of your tree so that your right knee can come out straight to the right. Bring the pubic bone forward so the tailbone roots straight down. Feel the firmness in your core. Hands come to prayer position in front of the heart, or the sound of one hand clapping, if you need that. Hands reach to the sky when you're ready. Wide fingers opening your branches. Fixing your gaze into that spot on the floor that anchors you and keeps you steady. Maybe taking the reverse namaskar behind you. Elbows draw back as you do this, so it's a nice shoulder stretch and heart opener. And when you're ready, you can release the arms, wrap the lifted leg, the right leg around, either take your moment in mountain if you need to, wrap your leg around. Toes can actually come onto the floor or a block if you need some steadiness here. And right arm comes underneath, eagle arms. Sit down into it. You can draw your elbows a little further forward and the wrists a little further forward for a little more stretch in the upper back. Ujjayi breath. And unfurl your wings, come right into your crane pose. Have a little softness in the standing leg, a little micro bend in the left knee. Soften your shoulders, elbows, wrists. And slowly come to the balance pose that we call samastiti, also known as mountain, or equal balance in both feet. And just feel the power of being able to stand on your own 2 feet. Something not to be taken for granted. And then from here, come onto your mat. We'll take a little bit of back rolls, which is a wonderful energizing self-massage for the spine. So you can either lie on your back and just hug your thighs in toward your chest and let them go, hug them in and let them go, and that will lift and lower the low back and sacrum area, maybe just to massage there. If you want to go deeper, bring your hands behind your knees, tuck your chin to your chest so your upper back rounds, you'll roll better that way. And don't forget to breathe here. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Rocking from your sitting bones all the way back to your shoulders. If you want to take this deeper, you can cross your ankles, grab opposite big toes, and reach your feet overhead. And as you come up onto your sit bones, you can take it into a nice spread open heart coming forward on your sit bones. So rocking into almost a plow pose with crossed legs. And opening the heart. And then settle onto your back, hug your knees in toward your chest. Rock side to side. And settle into stillness on your back. Bring the soles of the feet down onto the mat, heels in line with your sitting bones. See if you can walk your heels a little closer to your sit bones, just enough so that your middle fingers can touch the backs of your heels. Preparing for bridge pose. You want to walk those hands as far forward toward the front of your mat so that your shoulders draw away from your ears. Plant the backs of the shoulders into the mat. And we'll inhale, roll up one vertebra at a time. We'll do a few back rolls here just to warm up into our bridge. So you're going to lift all the way up to the shoulders, lift the heart to the sky, and then exhale, roll down as if you are lifting and lowering a string of pearls, one pearl at a time. Exhale, lower the sacrum down. Inhale, roll up. Lift the hip pointers a little higher than the heart. Lift the ribs. Lift the chest. Exhale, roll down. Syncing up your movement with breath. Nice and slow and controlled. See if you can really sense the movement of each vertebra one at a time. Like one pearl at a time in that pearl necklace. Letting the breath move the body. And then the next time you find that lift, see if you can hold here for 3 to 5 breaths, tucking your shoulder blades a little toward one another. If it's available to you to interlace your fingers, clasp hands, that will help you maintain this lift. Pressing the hip pointers skyward. Pressing the top of the chest toward the chin. Ujjayi breath. Keeping the inner thighs drawing toward one another so the knees stay firm over the ankles without splaying out. Pressing firmly into the feet. This helps strengthen the legs. It's a kind of inversion too as you have the hips higher than the heart. It's a heart opener and back bend. A lot of benefit to this pose. If you press the top of the chest toward the chin, you're also creating a little bit of compression there where you can give a little squeeze and soak to the thyroid area. And when you're ready to release, unclasp the hands and roll down mindfully, one pearl at a time, down the spine from top to bottom. And then slowly hug the knees into the chest, rock side to side. And we'll take it into figure 4, supine pigeon. So take your right knee and turn it out to the right and cross over above the right ankle to the middle of the left thigh. You want to thread your right hand through the space between the legs, and clasp your hands either behind your left thigh or around your left shin. Drawing the left thigh inward, you can use your elbow as leverage to press that right thigh away. And do that till you feel the juice. You should feel it in your glutes. It's a nice stretch for the glutes and the iliotibial band, the outside of the right leg. Nice opener for the hip here. Hugging that left thigh in, keeping the backs of the shoulders soft, resting on the mat. Send your breath into any place where there's tightness or restriction. One more deep breath. And then releasing here. Uncross your legs. Notice the difference between one side and the other. And then we'll take that figure 4 on the other side, making sure that you make contact with your thigh above the ankle, not on the ankle or below the ankle. Slide your left hand through the space between your legs, either clasp behind your right thigh or around your right shin, and let the outer edge of the left knee press away from you as you pull your right thigh in toward the belly on the right side. Breathe into the strong sensation. Allow yourself to just meet your edge. With a relaxed awareness. Just find that place where it feels like a juicy stretch, but not to the place where you cross over the threshold into pain. Just a place where you can feel the aliveness of the stretch, and just send your breath there. Massage it with your breath. One more. And slowly releasing the legs. And then take the hands out to T position, palms down. And let the knees fall over to one side in line with the hip. Turn your gaze to the opposite hand. So if your knees are turning toward the left, let your head turn to look at your right hand. And let the backs of both shoulders melt into the mat. If you notice your spine has gone crooked at a diagonal, you can inch your shoulders a little over to the left if your knees are going left, to keep them in line with your hips. Nice big deep breath. And transitioning to the other side, you can press your toes into the floor, lift your knees, bring them back to center, even your shoulders and your hips out, and then let the knees fall to the other side, letting your legs just be at a 90-degree angle. Maybe scooch your shoulders to line up with your hips, arms out at a T position. Look to the hand that's in the opposite direction of where your knees are going. Soften the backs of both shoulders to make contact with the mat. Breathe and enjoy. And then pressing the toes into the mat to walk the feet back to center and the knees up to center. Stretch your legs out in front of you on the mat. Let the palms turn up, arms about 45 degrees from the body. Coming into our final posture, Shavasana or corpse pose. Let the shoulder blades just slightly tuck toward one another, toward the spine, so that you can feel, even in this pose of complete release, a sense of opening in the heart. As the palms turn up skyward and the toes just naturally turn out in opposite directions, feet a little wider than the hips, your whole body comes into this gesture of being open, ready to receive the benefits of your practice. Ready to receive all of that prana that you've opened up to through all of the movement and breathing. Let it come streaming into every cell. Into all of the energy channels that make up your subtle body. You can release the control of the breath and just let the body find its own natural rhythm. Letting your legs surrender into the earth. With every out-breath, releasing more deeply through the hips and pelvis, through the low back and the belly, the rib cage and the front and back and sides, the upper back, shoulder blades, shoulders, chest, heart, lungs. Trust that they find their own rhythm that gives you just the amount of oxygen and blood that you need in this moment. Softening through the arms, the upper arms, elbows, lower arms, and hands. The neck and throat softens. The jaw softens. Cheekbones soften, muscles around the eyes relax and release. The brow smooths out and relaxes. The scalp relaxed. So from the bottoms of your feet to the crown of your head, you're completely relaxed. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Begin to deepen your breath and bring some movement into your fingers and toes. Reach your hands back behind you and take a nice long stretch, like you're just waking up. And then fold your knees in toward your chest. Give yourself one final embrace. And roll over onto one side. Very slowly, taking your time, press yourself up into a seated position. And coming back up to that comfortable cross-legged position. Once again, lengthen up through your spine. Let your eyes close and just take a moment to notice what's alive in you as a result of your practice. What's been invited in? What's been released and let go? Where is there a greater sense of openness or calm or peace or aliveness? And then bringing the hands together in front of the heart, palms in prayer position. Let the thumbs gently rest in the center of the chest. Once again, bringing your awareness to that intention that you called in at the beginning of our practice. And may we allow that quality to be alive in us as we take our practice off the mat and into our life. And let's send that intention and gratitude for our aliveness out in all directions by taking a deep breath in and exhaling with the sound of Om. We'll close with the salutation, Namaste. The divinity in me sees and bows to the divinity in you.